Hello everybody, your favourite Uncle Frog here again. And you may be thinking, hang on a moment, how many videos have you done on making mail? Well, yes, this is number 3, but I've got mail. But the question is, why? Why am I doing a 3rd video on mail? Well, the first video I made was about making my complete mail shirt myself. And you may remember the reason why I made a complete mail shirt myself was back in the day, back in sort of late 80s, early 90s, you couldn't buy any sort of mail, riveted or butt linked, anything like that at all. And a lot of people just didn't want to make it, and so it was a way of me funding my reenactment habit. And I've made, I really don't know how many. Every time I add it up, it comes out slightly differently, but it's definitely above 20 and below 30. So it's yeah, plus or minus 10. It's in the call it 25. That's a nice, neat number. I've made approximately 25 mail shirts. And quite some time ago now, I wanted to make a riveted chainmail shirt, and I just couldn't bring myself to buy one. And so I made one completely from scratch. 50% punch links, so that's these ones here, the full links, and 50% of the riveted ones, which are these. And these are 8mm, and they use, if I can actually get it off the table and show you, and I'm not sure if that's actually going to focus, but we'll do our best. Is that, come on, stop being fuzzy and focus. Don't be fuzzy, focus. There we go. That's using these little triangle rivets. Many archaeologists refer to them as staples. Now I've been using this chainmail shirt for quite a while now, and what I've found is that the links blow out a lot. And to begin with, I thought, well, maybe it was me. You know, maybe I just wasn't particularly good at riveting. But having spoken to some other people who have these, it seems that because, maybe you can see that on the reverse side, regardless, even when you've got a well riveted link, so this is a very well riveted link, one of mine of course, because I'm fantastic. You end up with like a very thin line on this side, and on the other side just a little bit, a minute point. It's a couple of millimeters of this triangle poking out, and so although it appears to be quite strong, you can't break it with your fingers, it's not as strong as the round links. So I have become fed up with constantly repairing my chainmail shirt because I'm a lazy so-and-so and I don't want to do this. So I had a clever idea, because I'm full of it. I decided I was going to make another 8mm shirt, and instead I would use the round links. So clever idea. However, I couldn't be bothered to make the entire thing myself. So I should explain at this point, you've got 3 options. Option 1, you can just buy the links and make the whole thing yourself. Option 2, which is probably honestly the sensible version, which is to buy a complete chainmail shirt. Option 3 is to buy these. These are 20 centimetre, and they are genuinely 20 centimetre squares of chainmail. They are 50% punch links, 50% round riveted links. I have a specific way I want my chainmail shirt to go together. I also like the idea of having kind of bespoke made it for myself, but I just thought this was just a labour-saving way of doing it. But I wasn't sure about the quality of these, so what I ended up doing was I ended up buying a few of these and just checking them. Now, are they good quality? Yes, I'd say they are. Having gone through quite a few of these now, because you need about 9, or I need, because I'm a skinny little runt, I need about 19 of these plus some open links and sealed links to make up a small chainmail shirt for myself. 2 to 3% failure rate on these. What do I mean by failure? Well, here we're talking about riveted chainmail links that didn't rivet properly. When I say properly, some of them can be quite ugly, but they're solid, and so therefore I've left those in. However, you end up with some where, so I'm finding a good example. Some where, and again, I'll just talk you through it, and you can use your vivid and wonderful imaginations. This link here doesn't have any holes in it. It's supposed to be a riveted link with punched holes. The holes didn't get punched in this one. The machine that it obviously went through obviously tried to put a rivet in there, but it couldn't because there's no holes. Fail. There's a number of those that went that way. There are others where the hole actually isn't complete. No, the hole is complete, but it's on the edge, and so it's not fully surrounded by metal, or it wasn't surrounded by enough metal, and so when the rivet went in, it busted the link, and that didn't work. You have others where the rivet actually went in, but it turned, like this one, and so it didn't produce a solid rivet. And various things like that. So this is the reason why we get all this fail. But it's only about, get rid of that, it's only about 3%. So it's not too bad. You can go back through and you can rivet these things back together again. Just take out the crappy ones and put in the good ones. It's also, I think, easier to go through these 20 centimeter squares, you know, line by line and check. You also have to roll it over to the other side and go down and check and see, okay, are they good or are they bad? It's easier to do that than it is to go through an entire suit when it's already put together and figure out whether you've got good or bad links in there. Other than that, these are extremely well done. When you buy these pre-punch links, you often find in the loose pre-punch links, you often find links that have kind of had like a double punch action on them, and so they're missing a bit of the ring. I've only found one like that so far in one of these squares, and it was such a small amount that had been taken out, I thought, it's not worth bothering with. There is one little bit of weirdness though with this, which is here, this piece here, this last run of links, they're all riveted, but there's no solid links on the other side. So that just creates a bit of a weirdness. If it's at the bottom of your chainmail, then that's absolutely fine. If it's at the top of the chainmail, you know, where it's going further up your body, then you're probably just going to have to snip them off. Riveting them, hand riveting them yourself, how does that work? Well, you're going to need 2 pairs of fairly meaty pliers. You're going to have to make sure that the links meet up, or the link, I should say. Let's find one that doesn't have a rib. If we put these together, this is a busted link, but it's good enough to explain to you how it works. And we just kind of line that up. If we don't line it up enough, so we end up with a gap. This is really, really bad, because when you go and rivet that link, you're going to get squashed metal on both sides and in the middle, so you're going to have this partially open sealed link, which is not a good idea. And so what we need to do is we just need to wiggle it a little bit to get it to seal up properly. And you know, this takes a little bit of practice, but you'll figure out how to do it, and eventually it'll end up being really awful like that one. It'll end up being closer together, so that works. You're obviously going to need a pair of snips just to cut out anything that's really, really bad. And you're going to need a riveting tool. And I have struggled a lot with riveting tools. The original ones for the staples, I found that I had to open up every single hole in order to get the staple to go through properly. But once I got used to the angle at which I had to put the thing into the riveting tool, it worked out fine. I was sent a 6mm riveting tool, but that never worked. In retrospect, thinking about it, that could be because the holes on either side, because they gave me a riveting tool with a hole for the round head rivet and another hole for the other side of the rivet to go into. They didn't line up properly, and so you were always getting this rivet going in squint, you know, at a different angle. So when you applied pressure, the thing would twist in the pliers and not directly go in. So if you do get a tool that doesn't seem to be working, check that it's lined up properly. If it's not lined up properly, send it back to whoever supplied it to you and explain why. Say, this isn't lining up, so therefore everything's coming out at a weird angle. Hello everybody, I just had a thought, and I know what you're thinking. Steady on, Mr. Frog, do you remember what happened last time? Ah, yes, well, notwithstanding that, I was thinking about the difference between the triangular rivety things and the round rivety things. If you have the triangular rivety things, then you need one of these chappies to open up the little slit hole that's in the rivetable link. So that means, well, you're going to need what? Sort of 15 to 20,000 rivetable links. So you have to hit it twice with this thing, so that's 30 to 40,000 hammer strokes. Compared to the round-headed rivety things, then, you know, I mean, they're basically stealth, aren't they, in comparison, because the occasional kind of sound of a ricocheting link somewhere, and that's about it. So if you do spend your life with, you know, a significant other, the round section links might be more conducive, I suppose, to convivial living than the other ones. They also might not involve the purchase of horse and the transportation of a Bundeswehr cupboard around the German countryside. A cupboard, by the way, which I'm sure is made from something that is even denser than depleted uranium. Anyway, back to me. If you don't want to send it back, there is a fix. And this is the fix I made with these. These are actually for the 6mm, but they work for my 8mm. And I've been using them on my 8mm. On one side, I still, and again, are we going to get it to focus? Maybe. There is a hole. On the other side, I took my trusty angle grinder and I ground this flat and square. So you can see that it lines up properly. There's no kind of weird wiggles and stuff. And I ground out the hole on this side. And this means now I can easily get my my rivet square, and obviously the pre-produced round side of the rivet goes into the hole, and I just place the flat end against the non-hold side of the riveting pliers. You've got two options here. There's quite a long shank on the rivet, so you can snip these off. You're going to get lovely ricocheting sounds as it kind of pings around the room, and your partner might get upset with you. I would suggest that you volunteer to do the vacuum cleaning whilst you are doing the chainmail, because then only you will hear the horrible clacking noises as you suck up several thousand kind of spent bits of metal. Not that I've been doing that, of course. The other option is to just use the full length one. You'll end up with a slightly larger riveted side, and it'll have a slightly sharper edge. But honestly, that edge is not particularly sharp, and you know, it works. It's fine. Whew. I just realised that was lots and lots of description and a very, very serious what do we call it? Oh yes, video. That's what we call it, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, I'm being an idiot. I'm making more 8mm chainmail. but it's fun, honest. Anyway, hope you found that interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye!